Hey, welcome back to Chasing the Sun. I'm Eric Lee. This week for my moto-travel series, I'm going to take you to the Nelson Nakusp area in the Kootenays. There's tons of beautiful riding roads out there. I'm all geared up and ready to go and excited to show you, so let's roll out. Okay, so here's my ride map for day one, the route that we took, starting from Vancouver all the way to Nelson in one day. That's a total of almost 700 kilometers in a day and about 8 hours of ride time. So you gotta factor in your gas stops, your lunch. So it does make for a long day. I'd suggest leaving early. From Vancouver, you gotta cut through number one. It's kind of boring, like you know I always say in my other ride reviews, but that's really the only way. And then you'll make it through, after Hope it gets interesting because then you hook onto the number 3, the Crow's Nest Highway, and that takes you through Manning Park, which is always fun. The first bit of Manning Park was a little bit choppy with the potholes and stuff, but after that the second part of Manning Park is much better, and there's nice sweepers and stuff like that, so that's always enjoyable. Gas stop at Princeton is recommended. Okay, so we just finished a gas stop at Princeton. We're now gonna head over to Keremeos and then Osoyoos. That's quite cool. The beautiful pastures. Yes, that's my friend there. Beautiful pastures through the Similkameen Valley. So quite a nice countryside ride. After Princeton, you continue on to number 3, the Crow's Nest Highway. And this stretch is quite nice. It's not fast or tight, but it is very scenic. You ride through the Similkameen Valley, which is this stretch here, and then you hit Keremeos and then Osoyoos. So this whole stretch is very nice. And then we took a lunch break in Osoyoos, which is a logical spot. So we're in Osoyoos and we found this really neat Mexican place, La Marqueza. It's new because last year when I came here, I don't think it was here, but the place looks authentic. It looks like they sell Mexican products, and then of course there's food. The menu actually looks quite authentic too, so I'm gonna try it. You order burrito. Okay, see his. So for some reason, okay, Mr. Andres is much bigger than mine, like double. I don't get it.
For some reason.
Now you know this is authentic because they give you 4 types of hot sauce. Okay, so we just finished lunch at over there. It's called Marqueza, I think, La Marquez. It's Mexican. It's right on the main strip of Osoyoos, and it's actually pretty good, very authentic. Okay, so Andre, what do you think about the food?
Good food.
Trying to sneak past there. We're like, who is that behind me? All right, so we are going forward onto Grand Forks, and then Nelson is tonight. This stretch is my absolute favorite. You can just check out the hairpins here, just turns after turns after turns. This is probably my favorite stretch of day 1 route. All the way down to Rock Creek is a lot of fun here. So do enjoy that bit. And then you'll ride through Grand Forks and then Castelgar. You can either take Castelgar 3A up to Nelson, but you know, we figure we're not tired yet after 8 hours and 700 kilometers of riding, so we wanted to take the longer route and take number 6 through SOMM because I've been here before and I know this stretch is quite fun, and it proved to be quite fun indeed. So yeah, go through SOMM and then up to Nelson if you have some time. Beer already.
Yes.
This guy knows how to end a good day of riding. Look at this. This is awesome. What's this one called? This is called the shebang, right?
Shebang, yeah.
It's like a platter for 2, and you can pick 2 meats. We picked 2 half chicken and rib, mac and cheese, and Cajun fries.
Yeah, I love it.
You like the Cajun fries?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so we just finished dinner at Broken Hill, right there. Quite a cool spot. We had their shebang platter for 2, and it's a smoked meat platter, so it's kind of interesting. There's a couple other patios down there that was quite happening. The Royal looked really good. It's more like a bar place. There's a new brewery, I think it's called Backroads Brewery, and that was recommended by the locals, but we wanted food, so that's Nelson right there. So in the morning before we headed out, we went to grab some coffee, and my go-to place every time I'm in Nelson is Oso Negro Cafe. They have an outside patio which looks like a garden, and I love the way it's designed because every seat has its own privacy. It's the perfect place to enjoy your morning coffee and grab a breakfast. They roast their own beans, and I would say it's the best coffee I've ever tried in BC. That's why I keep coming back. Look at all the different types of roast they have here. You know that they're serious about their coffee beans. You can pick up their roast guide, which shows you the different taste qualities with every flavor profile they've made. You can either pick up a bag of beans to bring home to grind yourself or have them ground here. I like dark coffee myself, and they have quite a few dark flavor profiles, so I was curious, what's the difference? I'm looking at your dark roast. There's dark and there's very dark. What do I get with the very dark flavors?
It's, what kind of flavors do you get?
Yeah, like when you go very dark.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really rich.
Okay.
And the Prince has Ethiopian in it, so it's going to have a little bit of a livelier finish to it.
Okay.
Where the Princess has Celebes, which is the sweeter bean,
yeah.
So it will be a sweeter finish.
Okay. And then with organic and non-organic, what do I get with that?
The Prince is organic.
Okay.
And the Princess is not. If you're looking for those very, very
dark.
dark.
Do I taste differently, or is it just...
Like, taste the difference in it?
No,
I
right?
wouldn't say so, no.
Okay, it's just the health component of it.
Yeah.
Got
and a
it.
lot of the places, they can't certify themselves as organic either, so they can't even afford the pesticides, but they can't. We can't put the stamp on it either, so
Okay.
it's probably like
Okay.
75 to 80% organic anyways. But
Right. What's your most popular dark roast then?
it depends, but we are known for the Prince and the Princess for sure. Because,
Okay.
yeah, they are.
We are here this morning at Oso Negro in Nelson. Awesome coffee place, by the way, if you're ever here. Whenever I'm here, I buy a bag of beans. If you're serious about your coffee roasting, they have it. but we had a really good ride yesterday. We went from Vancouver, took the number 3, then number 6, up to here. So basically we rode through the big cities are Vancouver, came through Manning Park, then Osoyoos, and then Grand Forks, Castelgar, and Nelson. So yeah, we just wanted to do a quick recap, a bit of a ride report on yesterday's roads. So if you think about yesterday's roads, overall, we're thinking about scenery, road conditions, tight twisties, fast sweepers, and traffic volume. From 0 out of 10. 10 being really good, 0 being horrible, worst ever. So, what do you think, road condition wise?
It might sound boring, but I found everything perfect yesterday.
Really? This is so different than last time we went.
Even though there was the same road.
That's true. We went through Manning Park the same way.
But I just loved everything yesterday. The road conditions were good. I don't know why. I didn't catch any of those bumps.
Well, okay, so I have to clarify. Manning Park, I noticed the first bit of Manning Park, the first half of it, horrible road conditions. That's that construction bit. You can tell that they're getting ready to repave and stuff. You can see cracks in the road and stuff like that. But the second part, much better. And then everything else after that was, like he says, perfect. So you're probably remembering the last bit of a ride, which is like, especially that Osoyoos stretch. Yeah. Amazing, right?
Amazing.
Amazing, yeah. So that was really good. So okay, overall though, I would probably give the road conditions, I'd say like a 9, just because that bit of Manning Park, so I would give it a 9. Otherwise, you're right, they would get a perfect score. What would you give road conditions?
It was pretty
so that's
close to ideal.
Close to ideal?
Really close to ideal.
Is that a 9 or 8 or?
Let's say 9.
9?
8, 10 probably would be in Switzerland, I'm assuming. So 9 here.
Okay, awesome. How about sceneries? What would you give for scenery?
Amazing.
He's one happy camper. Must be the coffee.
Yesterday everything was perfect.
Yesterday, yeah. It was actually really good yesterday. Yeah, Manning Park has some really nice scenery. We rode through a few lakes. Coming up to Osoyoos, you get this beautiful kind of view of Osoyoos down below. That was really nice. We followed the river for quite a bit after like Osoyoos stretch there. So yeah, I would definitely give it like a 9 myself for scenery.
9.
9? Okay. Awesome. Tight twisties. So the difference with tight twisties, there's 2, right? There's tight twisties and there's fast sweepers. So tight is when you like it gets more tight, more fun. Whereas the highway sweepers is just easy, nice fun turns, but it's at a highway speed, right?
Yeah. So we had both yesterday.
Yes, it was a really good mixture.
A really good mixture, and the really tight twists. Yeah. Again, the pavement quality was so good, so you could make it really low. Yeah. So there was no rocks on the road, nothing. It was just, the road was clear, which was cool.
Yeah, it was a joy. Yeah, there was a few stretches with tight twisties. The stretch after Osoyoos, so heading east towards Red Rock, towards Rock Creek, that was a good mixture of tight twisties and sweepers, and you get a whole series of it. And we lucked out; we didn't get much traffic. So we had not, like, there was no one slowing us down, and we just had to alter ourselves. Yeah. That was like the best blast, I would think.
Yeah.
That whole stretch.
I expected way more traffic on the road, but there was nobody.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, for Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, we lucked out. So, but overall tight twistings, what would you give it?
10.
10?
10.
I like it. He's good. I'll give it a 9 also, because for me, I've done a 10. Like Tail of the Dragon, that's a 10. You get like a lot of curves. That would be like a 10 on.
It's just because I'm less experienced. That's it.
It's just on your list of things, but that still works, right? Like for you, it's a 10, which is great. So I'm gonna give it a 9. Fast sweepers, it's also quite high up there because you get a good mixture of fast sweepers too, right?
Yeah.
Manning Park has a bunch of nice fast sweepers. Osoyoos does. Even the stretch through Keremeos. So after Princeton, by the river there, that was fun little
I
swoop.
didn't catch all the names he's talking about, so I was just riding.
This is that really nice pasture through the orchards, and then you go through the Similkameen Valley, and then you got this beautiful. That's I forgot to mention that in scenery. That's my favorite spot in scenery. Is you get this beautiful pastures on both sides, like it's in a valley. So you have mountain on one side, mountain on the other side, and then you're riding through this beautiful valley. It's not tight or anything like that, but it's so pleasant that you just get to enjoy it. That stretch there is beautiful. So that stretch alone I would give as a 10 out of 10 for scenery.
I think yesterday's ride just consists of beautiful stretches, and I just can't keep up on all of them. It's too
It's
many.
just too much, right? Overstimulated. But I would say fast sweepers, I'd give it a 9 also. Yeah, 9 out of 10 because there's a good mix of it.
Very, very nice ride.
Yeah,
I'm hungry now.
hungry?
And here is
Okay.
my breakfast.
yes. That looks like a good breakfast.
Yeah, you can order a bun and then add as much as you want.
Oh,
on it.
nice. So you add whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's a good option. So the last thing is traffic volume. And I know he's going to give it a 10. So traffic volume is how many cars were holding us up and stuff like that. And
Cars actually made that ride more fun.
Yeah.
Because you need to pass them. It's like some obstructions on your way, and you need it. Otherwise, it would be boring.
well, a lot of the cars, like once you get out to the interiors, they actually move aside.
That
for
was
you.
a perfect mix yesterday.
Yeah. So I think the only bit was like maybe Manning Park for a little bit. There was some traffic, but very light. I'm super surprised for a weekend, that there wasn't more traffic, but we lucked out. So traffic volume for me, yeah, I'd say it's a 9 out of 10 also. I've been through those roads before, and sometimes it's not as pleasant, but overall, once you pass Manning, even once you pass Osoyoos, it gets quiet. So that's the nice thing about this road, yeah, for sure. Any comments for traffic volume?
No.
No? So yesterday was about getting to Nelson. If you're doing the same trip, I would recommend at least 3 days. First day to get to Nelson. Second day to explore all of the good roads here. There's lots of good roads here. And I'll show that on the map. And then third day to get back. So yesterday was getting to Nelson. Today we're going to explore, we only have 1 day left. So we're going to explore highway number 6 up to Nakusp, down to Faquier, and take the Needles Highway back. So that's some nice roads. There's still some good ones in Balfour, the other side of the lake. So do check that out. Now, if you're making it all the way out to Nelson, the Kootenays here, I would recommend that you spend at least 3 days. 4 or 5 would even be better, just because there's so many good riding roads around here. You can pretty much station yourself at Nelson or New Denver or Nakusp and just ride around these routes. You won't regret it. The top BC roads, riding roads, are out in this area. What I'd recommend is just go along these roads here. Down through this lake here is super nice. So that's Kootenay Lake there. You can ride either through number 6 here and then back up to Creston. Creston, for you beer people, is the home to Kootenay breweries. So in there, you actually can tour the Kootenay brewing factory. So that's kind of interesting. So you can tour it, and they'll give you a free beer at the end too. But you can ride this Highway 3 all the way up. This is just a charm to ride. It's super nice. Lots of turn sweepers and twisties. And then if you went up here, you'd have to cross through the Balfour Ferry. It's not a long ferry. And then you can continue up. Ainsworth is a great spot. There's a nice natural hot spring there. You can stop by. So that's nice. And then Caslow all the way to New Denver. This is quite a nice stretch also, 31A. And then you can ride the Highway 6 down. This stretch here is just absolutely beautiful also, through that lake there. And then you'll kind of hop back to Nelson. So that's a nice loop that you can do, and there's many ways to do this. Just don't miss it. There's so many good roads out here. Overall, so far for yesterday's trip, what would you say?
I want to make it again. And I agree, 3 days is the minimum. I'm making 2 days because it's just a short weekend, but I want to repeat it, and I want to stay in a better place.
That's true. The hostel we stayed at was so.
hostel is okay for one night, but if you're planning to make like more than one night, I would recommend to go with the
Yeah, there's actually there's a few good hotels here, so I'll post that up on the link too, because I've been through it a few times and we've stayed at some better ones. So I'll post that up. But even you don't have to stay in Nelson all the time. There's actually Ainsworth. Next time you should try with your wife. Ainsworth Hot Springs. It's a natural hot spring. We stayed there one time. There's the hotel right there. It's great. You can stay there. It's only 20 minutes up the road here. And for trips with wives and stuff like that, they would enjoy it. Yeah, so you can try that.
Yeah, I would love to travel to repeat it with my wife for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then alone again.
With the boys to go crazy, right?
To go crazy, eh?
Okay, so after this, we are off to, so Andre's heading home. I'm going to head up to Sycamoose, and we're going to both explore Highway 6 back up north. This is what we did for the second day from Nelson. We basically took the Highway 6 all the way up to Nakusp, and then Nakusp down to Faquier. Faquier, we crossed the ferry over, and that continues over to Vernon. Now, I'd say Highway 6, the first 20 minutes from Nelson north was so-so. It's not too bad, nothing super exciting like what we experienced the previous day. But after that, it actually gets a lot of fun. The stretch right around New Denver and over to Nakusp, this stretch here right by Slow Cannon Lake is a lot of fun. Good mixture of twisties left, right, sweepers, and very quiet. Good road conditions, so that's really nice. Nakusp is a good lunch spot to break if you need. So this is Nakusp. It's one of the big towns here. It is on the Highway 6, so definitely a good stop. We're gonna grab a coffee now. I recommend you fill up in Nakusp if you can, because there's only one gas stop in Faquier. By the time we got there, I was on empty, so I was counting on this one location. When we rolled up to it, we saw that it was closed, and I thought we were done for. But then we realized that this is a self-serve kiosk for the gas. It took a while to figure out because it's all manual and you have to put in your visa and all that stuff. But we quickly filled up and rode off to the ferry ramp. We managed to just make it on this ferry. 1 minute left. We got out of the gas stop and we are the last people on, so that's awesome.
Hey, are we paying for that?
No, it's only 5 minutes.
God bless Canada! Wow, seriously?
There you go. Yes, God does bless Canada. That's Faquier on that side, and we're gonna cross over to Needles on that side. It's a 5-minute crossing. So this is Arrow Lake that we're crossing, and this ferry is the Faquier Needles ferry. It's a tow cable ferry, which is quite interesting. It's only 5 minutes, and like Andre pointed out, you don't get charged for it. But this is Arrow Lake, and if you do ride these roads, you'll find that you'll be crossing Arrow Lake a few times. There's actually two ferries. One is this Faquier Needles ferry, and then the other one, a longer ferry, is the Ball 4. So this is the scenery that you get when you ride out in the Kootenays. This is Arrow Lake, and those are the Selkirk Mountains in the background. And here's the tow rope that I was talking about. The ferry basically gets towed from one side to the other. It's a very efficient way of doing it. So I guess that's why they're not really charging for this. Now, if you're riding through Nakusp and you want a place to stay and you don't mind tenting, there's actually Riders Retreat, which is really interesting. It's right off the highway just before town. But it's a motorcycle camping spot catered towards motorcycles, and the beauty is they have tents for you. So if you were just stuck for the night and you didn't want to go to a hotel and you didn't have tents, Riders Retreat is awesome. Good rating, as you can see, but it's a great place to just kind of hang out with other riders and such. So it's quite a unique destination. the inside looks a lot better than the outside. And the menu actually looks good too. Oh, that looks good. This is the Mexican skillet.
Thank you.
No, that's good. Okay, so why is yours always larger than mine?
Right?
Right? Like at the Mexican place, and this place looks good though. It was a bit long of a wait, but that looks yummy. Okay, so we just finished lunch at Vernon, and how was day 2 for you overall? What do you feel about that?
I'm tired,
You're tired.
but happy.
Yeah, happy but tired. That's true. That's a good description. Me too. We had so much twisties thrown at us. Beautiful scenery, good traffic. We can't complain, but yes, it's tiring because it's so much riding. But yeah, Andre's back home. I'm gonna continue up to Osoyoos.
Another 5 hours.
Another 5 hours for him, 1 hour for me. But yeah, I hope you liked this video. It's capturing Nelson. There's lots of good roads there, so I hope you guys do come and check it out. If you do, leave us a comment and let us know how it goes.